Maddi.
Hey, what's happening?
Hey, you're the gear god for Dream Theater and John Petrucci.
I am.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So exclusively for Dream Theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you give us a short rig rundown here.
Sure.
In Frankfurt for Dream Theater.
Frankfurt, here we are. So yeah, let's start with the guitars. John's main 6-string is an Ernie Ball Music Man Majesty artisan model, John Petrucci artisan model. It's got the kind of translucent finish and gold hardware. Features game changer technology, and this is his main 6-string guitar. And this is the Nero finish, the black Nero.
Yeah.
Finish. His backup to that is another Majesty. This is the Arctic Dream color. All the same electronics and features. And then a third backup to that is the new JP16, which features a Floyd Rose tremolo, no piezo system.
And different pickups. Huh?
No, same pickups.
Yeah?
Yep. Same Illuminator pickups.
Okay.
Roasted maple neck. And this is, I'm not 100% sure what the fingerboard wood was that we settled on. I think
it's like ebony?
Some sort of ebony, yeah. So that's, and this is black lava, I believe is what the finish is called.
Yeah, but John went back to the Floyd Rose here, huh?
Yeah, we did it for this model just to do something different, try it out again. You know, go back to the old
days, yeah.
the old days. So, and then his main 7-string, again, is a Majesty Artisan. This is the Rosso finish, red. All the same features as the 6, except one more string. So that's the main 7. The backup to that is the Gold Mine Majesty. This is the non-artisan version. And then, for an alternate, John actually used this guitar in the studio, so sometimes he uses it live. This is a JP15, Sahara Burst, roasted maple neck and fingerboard, mahogany body, and flame maple top, this one. So this is a cool guitar.
It's a beauty, yeah.
Yeah. And then we also have, because it's the new model out, we have a 7-string version of the JP16. So
again with the Floyd Rose.
again with the Floyd Rose, no piezo system. And all the same feature set as...
What a nice rosewood here, is it?
You know what?
So what is it here?
I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to look it up, to be honest with you. I'm not sure what...
Well, I like that light areas here. I
Yeah.
don't like it too dark. It's very cool.
I'd have to look it up. I don't want to say it's ebony and have it not be. So it's something. So you can look it up at music-man.com if you
Some
want.
bright sounding wood.
Yeah. And then we have this guitar is tuned to drop D. This is another Artisan Majesty. This is the maroon finish. And this is tuned to drop D for one song in the set. Our New World is what it's called. And the backup guitar to that is the Copper Fire Majesty. So as you can see, we're predominantly using Majesties for everything. This is
So 9 guitars.
9 guitars, and then we also have a couple of acoustics. I've got a Taylor 916 CE 6-string. That's got features a bevel on the forearm here, and this gets used quite a bit during the show for acoustic parts. Yeah. And then I also have a Taylor 856 CE 12-string that gets used on one song. And John recorded the album with these guitars too, so they were used on the album, and now we're using them live.
Yeah, but John is using the acoustic sound on the electric as well.
Well, yes. Yeah. Yes, there's some songs that feature straight acoustic guitar, so he prefers to use the real acoustic. There's some songs where he'll blend it in, so he uses the piezo system on the Music Man's. Yeah. So that's the guitars, and let's talk about where the guitars
So do you have any
from there.
philosophy about setting the guitars? So
Yes.
so what about the neck? So you set the neck very straight.
I set the neck
as hell.
as flat as possible. Yep. Yeah,
low
so,
action
so
and
much so that I'll get straight edges out sometimes to do it. Yeah, and then super low action,
super straight neck.
Yes.
No bow.
Yep. Yeah. So the downside to that is you do get a little bit of fret buzz, but it's tolerable for what John's doing. Yeah. So, but it's totally tolerable for what he does.
I agree.
So So that's it. Just flat, straight, low. Fast. It's like a Formula One car. That's what we keep saying.
Okay, so what we have here is the Boogie Rack here.
Here's John's rack. Yeah. So we'll start with the basic signal flow. There's 2 signal paths. There's the magnetic pickups and the piezo pickups. So everything comes down a stereo or TRS cable. It's actually 2 independent signals that share the same cable, right? comes into this Framtone. It says amp switcher on it, but it's actually just an AB box. And what it allows me to do is have two guitars connected at the same time. I can switch back and forth between them. I also have a master mute function to kill everything. Out of this is where the two pickup systems split. So I'll do the piezo system first because that's an easy signal path. Out of the AB box, isolation transformer to take care of any grounding problems, into a TC electronic body res acoustic pedal, which is a great little pedal. Out of the body res into a radial DI box, straight out to the PA and monitors.
That's it.
That's it. Very simple. Any reverbs, delays, things like that you hear on the piezo acoustic are done at the consoles, not here. So now the magnetic side, we come out of the AB box. I hit a buffered splitter. One side feeds the pedal board tuner, which is a TC Electronic Polytune. The other side comes into the rack, and the first thing it hits is the Dunlop Crybaby. Now, John just came out with his own signature Crybaby pedal, the JP95. So that was based off of his rack wah that we had dialed in over the years. And they essentially what I did, I took the rack wah out of the rack, sent it to Dunlop. They copied everything, shrunk it down to put it in the pedal, and that's the pedal. So what I asked him to do for touring, so I don't have to run 100 feet of audio cable back and forth from the pedal board, I asked him to put the wah pedal back in the rack. So what they did is they took his signature wah pedal, put it back in a rack chassis. That's why there's no controls on the front. Everything's locked in to his settings.
Okay, so how do you control it? So
I have a controller pedal that is actually his wah pedal chassis, but it's just a controller pedal.
Just a controller.
Rack system, yeah.
So you do the wah or he's doing the
No,
wah?
he does the wah.
He does, okay.
Yeah, that's a very expressive effect, so that's all him. So out of the wah system, we come up to this pedal drawer here, and I have an RJM Music Mini Effects Gizmo loop switcher. It's 5 loops, but I've 5 loops, 6 pedals. So loop 1 is the TC Hypergravity Compressor, which we use John's tone print on. We have loop 2 is the Keeley Red Dirt Overdrive. Loop 3 is the Helix Phaser, which we have John's tone print. Loop 4 is the Univibe pedal, which we're using a Vintage Vibe tone print. To me, there's always only been one sound for a Univibe, and that's it. The way it's set, it just has that sound, and there we go. Loop 5, I have a pair of John's signature TC Electronic Dreamscape chorus pedals. So what I do is I manually switch between them depending on what song it is. We have
faster and slower wave. Or
it's what it is we have 2 different sounds set up. So one song he uses one sound, and then after that song I'll switch to the other one, and he has access to it for the rest of the night. So that's it. Everything's powered by a Voodoo Lab Pedal Power 2, and as you can see, it just pulls right out, goes right back.
So you do all the switching for live?
No, I don't. John does probably 98% of the switching. I do the other 2%. There's times where he'll go out in the middle of the stage for a solo or something, so I'll kick things on and off. I'll switch banks in between songs if we have to go to a different bank, things like that.
Okay, so you keep the eye on it and...
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah. So out of the pedals, then we come into the brand new Mesa Boogie JP2C signature amp. And for the tone gurus out there who are lovers of the fabled Mesa Boogie 2C Plus, this is a faithful recreation of that amplifier, right? But we added a lot of performance features to it. So on the old amplifiers, you had 2 channels that shared EQ, and you had 1 graphic EQ. This amp, we have 3 independent channels, 2 independent graphic EQs that are assignable to any channel. And to control it all, we do it by MIDI. So this amp contains MIDI. So you just send it either control functions, or you can create presets and store them on the amp and send it preset changes. And it does everything you need it to do. John runs his rig in stereo. So the easiest way to explain this amp is the left side, this amp is the right side, but only as a power amp. So all the tone settings are right here on the first amp. So this is any adjustments that he makes, this is where he does them right here. The effects loop send of the left amplifier feeds the first Axe Effects input. Okay, the second Axe Effects is just a backup. So feeds the Axe Effects input, stereo out of the Axe Effects, left and right. The left side comes to the effects return of this amp. The right side comes to the effects return of this amp, and that's the stereo power.
So that works Like a slave, that's it. Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. So really the only controls that are active on the second amp are the channel volume, presence, and graphic EQ.
Yeah.
Because the presence and graphic EQ are part of the power amp section of these amplifiers, like the old ones. These, in turn, then drive a pair of Mesa Boogie 1x12 cabinets, which are right here behind you. So, and we use 2 microphones on each cabinet, a Shure SM57 on each cabinet, and a Shure 313 ribbon microphone on each cabinet. And those are all blended together for the PA and the monitors. Yeah. So then, the second output of the Axe-Fx feeds left and right the little Mesa Boogie 2020 Dynawatt power amp. And the top one is the active one, the bottom one is the spare. And those power a pair of 1x12 cabinets out on either side of John's pedal board. And they act as monitor wedges for just the guitar. Yeah. So he can put his feet up on it and feel it, or he can get feedback, whatever he needs to do. They're not very loud, but it's enough so when he's standing in his zone, he has some girth to the sound.
So the guys are not using in-ear monitoring? They are?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what it does
but
is
John is needing the response for the feedback and everything.
Exactly.
Very important.
Exactly. So the only other bit of the signal chain back here, the acoustic guitars, I have a what's called a Gracie stand. It's a company called Gracie, and they make a stand that you mount the acoustic to, and it holds it in place so you can just walk up and play it, and you don't have to put a strap on or anything like that. So the acoustic guitars run on a wireless system, which I have back here. It's a Shure UR4D Plus, and the output of the wireless receiver goes to a Universal Audio 710 preamp. That then goes to the PA and monitors.
Okay, so what about the wireless for the electric?
No wireless, cable.
Cable?
Mm-hmm. Lots of cable.
Did you ever hear a wireless system which sounding like a cable?
It's a compromise, like anything. You have to decide, is it worth it? Can I handle what it's going to sound like? Is it close enough to where I can make a few little tweaks and make it be what I want it to be? Yeah. So that's, we've, John used to use wireless years ago when I first met him. He went to a cable primarily because he got the piezo pickup system on the guitars. So it was really kind of a pain to have 2 belt packs strapped on and 2 independent receivers. Every time you do a guitar change, there's all sorts of frequency changes you have to do, and it became unmanageable. Yeah. So cables became the simple way to go. So there we have it. I've got piles of cables. Yeah. So let's take a quick walk out on stage. I'll show you the pedal board. I'll show you the stuff that's on stage, and that'll be it.
Okay. I mean, you have all the tube amps here and the miking. Did you ever try to bring up like a digital system, like a Kempter Axe-Fx without any tubes? Did you ever try that?
Yeah, we've tried it. John has.
Is it an option, like? I don't sound wise. Or what do you think?
Not really. You can get close. It's not the real thing. So it really depends on how much you can handle, John prefers to play tube amps, so that's what we do. So, but it's nice to have something like the Axe-Fx or a plug-in simulator or something. If you're just doing a quick demo and it's like, oh man, I got this idea. I got the computer right here. I'll just plug in, boom, boom, boom. I get the idea down. Great.
But the real miking stays. The real
miking stays here. Yeah. And in the studio, we had a prototype version of the signature amp that we used on the entire album. Yeah. So, yep. And we recorded with a 1x12 cabinet and a 4x12 cabinet, so we had options to pick between. So, yeah. So
nice little speakers.
Yeah. So the pedal board is an RJM Mastermind GT 22 button. They make different sizes. This is the biggest one, 22 buttons. And this is the brains of the operation. As you saw back by the rack, I have a secondary pedal board. It's exactly the same programming. He does something here, I see it. I do something there, he sees it. It's seamless. If he wants to change the way a preset is set up and add an effect and store it, we can do it here or there, and both pedal boards respond the same. So it's really cool. Lots and lots of functions on this pedal board, which is amazing. And it's got cool LCD screens that you can change colors on.
Yeah, for the
yeah. Sure. The volume is controlled by an Ernie Ball volume pedal. And what this is actually, it's a regular volume pedal, but it's acting as a control pedal for the Axe-Fx. So I do the volume in the Axe-Fx rather than sending audio cable out and back. Yeah. It's essentially just like a VCA. Yeah. It is a simple way to explain it. So the volume pedal is just acting as a control pedal, but in the event of some major catastrophe, I can actually run audio out and back to this pedal and use it that way. So that's why we did it this way rather than just like an expression pedal. So here is the JP wah pedal. So this is exactly what his signature wah pedal looks like, except this happens to be a controller for the signature pedal that's in the rack. So
how about the blending between the magnetic and the piezo on the guitar?
Right on the guitar. So there's a 3-way toggle switch.
Earlier days he had a blender on stage, so he can blend.
I don't remember that.
So.
Maybe very early on, but now it's just done on the toggle switch. So wherever the PA's, nope, it's either on or off.
Okay, switching.
Yep, it's either on or off. If he really wants to blend it, he can play with the volume control on the guitar. But everything's set to to where he likes it, and just turn it on, done. So and then here's the 2 little Mesa 1x12 cabinets as the monitor wedges, and they have the black armor plate.
Full range.
No, they're just 1x12 cabinets.
Just for the guitar.
Just guitar. Yep, not full range, just guitar. And
so the vocals and everything is
everything
on the in-ear.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, even the guitar is on the in-ear monitor, but this is just on
response.
When you're standing here playing,
you can feel the rumbling.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So, and that's pretty much it. We've got some amps on stage. Those are spare amps actually. That are they're all connected, but
they're not running.
No, they're not running. If there's a problem, then they can run.
Okay.
But everything is kept back in the rack for cabling's sake. So, yeah.
But it's a nice decoration.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the Gracie stand. This is what it looks like without a guitar. So, cool. That's it. That's the inner workings of the Dream Theater Astonishing live tour.
Maddi for Dream Theater.